Hey everybody, Fishman here. Welcome to another video. This is a very old underground filter, and I'm not entirely sure exactly how old it is. Somewhere in the mid-70s for sure. I got it from a friend of mine who was moving, and they didn't want to move all the junk that they had, so they got a bunch of stuff together. A lot of it got thrown out, but they thought I would be interested in a bunch of their old aquarium stuff. And I definitely was, because I wanted to make a video about how, well, underground filters, what they used to look like. But what I did at the time was I piled it on this desk with a bunch of other things, and of course it got buried under all the wood and everything else that was on here. And when I put this rack together, I managed to sort out a lot of that stuff and got rid of a whole pile of junk and unburied it. So a little late, but I'm going to get around to that video now. Underground filters, like I said, were in predominant use in the 70s. All the pet stores I worked at in my teen years definitely use them, and this is not one of the ones they would have used. This would be even before that, because you can see how small the lift stack attachments are. It is tiny. I mean, there's very little in the way of ability for this to move a lot of water. Not a big deal with underground filters, as long as there is flow through it, it will work. But let's have a look at the size of this. So this is before they started using the larger lift stacks, and I said it is small. And the thing about these things, and I get a lot of questions about why people moved away from these and box filters and whatnot. And it's simply because they worked, and that was all there was to it. You didn't have to buy anything for it except, replacing the odd air pump every now and then. And it just slid into the slot here. You put gravel on top, and there's obviously one for the other side. But they did at one point a little bit. Well, I'm not sure exactly, to tell you the truth. But after they had these things for a little while, they started making these really cheap and frankly useless little carbon inserts that you could put on top, and the air would bubble through it. And the thing is, they said it would, get rid of some toxins in your water. And you can imagine that small amount of carbon, it really doesn't do anything. It might do something small, but then people will leave it in there long enough, and then whatever's in it would have leached back out anyway. So frankly, it is completely useless. So then after that, they upgraded the underground filters to have much larger lift stacks. Not this thing here, but that's just a piece of acrylic piping. But they increased the amount of flow they can get through it. And of course, the next upgrade from that was they would put pumps in the lift stack, and that would even more increase the amount of flow through it. And there's still pet shops that use underground filters today. So when I originally got this, I thought I would do an add-on for filtration systems, and I made this. Instead of the small little bit of carbon that's in there, I made it much larger, and I tried it out for a little bit, and it does its job. It is obviously much more easy to take the carbon out of it and put new carbon in. If that's the sort of thing that people are interested in, you can quite easily do that. And it is something that I could attach onto the box filters I'm making. This is the sponge version that I'm making for a friend, but it was handy, so I pulled it out. Obviously, those holes at the top would not be appropriate for this, but if it had a straight pipe like here, it'd be just a simple matter of popping it in like this, drilling a hole in the top for allowing the rigid airline tubing to go through, and that's it. It would function very well. I should look up the video that I had made for it, but I didn't have the time, sorry. If someone finds it, just let me know where it is. So that, like I said, that filter is a sponge filter, and if you remember a little while ago I put it together and I totally messed up the sponge for it, and I had to wait till I picked up another one. So this is it here, and I'm just drilling the hole through now, and I'm going to get that in the mail. And also that one tool build for the underground filter is also going out, because I finally got a hold of PJP, and we're going to hopefully exchange some information and get that mailed out as well. And also I'm going to make one more of these one tool builds. I want to make another of those Uggs because another friend of mine wants one, and definitely want to get that off to them. I really actually like drilling the sponge. It seems really stupid, but as you can see, as this progresses here, it makes a very neat hole, and this is the way the other one was supposed to turn out. I'm almost all the way through here, so I'm going to do it one more, and it does actually make a considerable difference. Now, in that pile of stuff that I got, all this old, like, these are all things from 60s and 70s, and one is a really old air pump. I'm not sure if it works anymore, but I'm going to have a look at it and see if I can get it up and running. All of you people and me, and every time you buy something, the newer it is, the less it lasts, and it's really annoying. So I'm going to try and get the air pump running. I don't think the membrane is obviously going to be of any use anymore, but I might be able to make one for it, so I'm going to have a look at that. If that's something that interests you, definitely let me know in the comment section below. That'd be most appreciated. And there's a couple other things. So one of them I've already made a video on was the Dynaflow Filter, which is very old, and it still works perfectly fine. So you can see the hole is really nice in this. I really like this. And this sponge was a little bit bigger than my last one, so I hooked it on the sled I made for my bandsaw, and as you can see, it slices off really nicely. You can get a nice even trimming on that, and it also shows that the sled's still nice and square. So this is a simple matter of popping this off. It's a little bit of a tight fit, but it's better that way than loose. The other thing about the sponge, of course, because it's a tight fit into the slot that it's going to fit into, it's much better when it's wet, and I didn't want any extra room on it. So yeah, I'm just knocking out the bits of offcut that came when I was drilling through. There you go. That's it. Just a matter of sliding that down, and I'm going to get all those off to the people that are interested in them. So there you go. Oh, the other thing I should mention before I go is I'm practically done the 4 filters, the 4 box filters. That thumbnail is going to go up shortly, a video, I guess, the short video for it. And those who are interested, it's going to premiere, so you'll have time to prep for it. The first 4 people who want it will get one. So there you go. I think that's pretty much everything. I think I talked on long enough. I hope you like to look at the old retro undergravel filter. And this is all set, and this is what I like most about this is as soon as I turn this over, it's a nice tight fit. That's what matters. Nothing's going to get in there except water flowing through it, and that's great. So thank you very much. I will see you in the next video, and bye for now.